Hi, I'm Richard Halstead, Regional Director for EEF for Midlands and East Region. I think the fourth quarter was very challenging. We certainly saw a softening during 2015 to leave it a fairly flat year overall. As we head into 2016, we see a glimpse of optimism, but we still have a very mixed picture. The transportation sector, automotive, aerospace, rail is still pretty positive, and particularly in the West Midlands region, driven by the success of JLR. However, you look at the oil and gas sector with the oil price at the moment, which is at an all-time low still, very much struggling, and a lot of companies who are solely oil and gas are looking to diversify. And then we've got a steel sector that's in meltdown, if you forgive the pun, and that's causing challenges and job losses, and we saw Tata announce another 1,000 job losses the other week, so that's tough. The consumer market, however, people have more money in their pockets, pay rises 2%, inflation at 0, so that's fairly confident. So it's overall a mixed picture and overall pretty flat, slight optimism for growth in 2016. I think at the end of the day, a bit like any business, we need to invest in our infrastructure, and HS2 is an investment in our infrastructure, not just around speed but around capacity. And of course, alongside that, it brings jobs. So we've announced the HS2 College here in the Midlands and one in Yorkshire and Humber, and we're going to have a large investment in creating the railway line. So that's going to be positive for employment and positive for skills. We need to upskill people, we need to train people, and that's always good, because those people who are trained in the rail sector will be trained in engineering, and those skills are applicable to all sectors. The majority of our members feel we need to stay in the EU. So the economic argument in terms of their business is we would like to stay as part of the EU, as part of that big economic unit, that big trade body. That over the past few months, we've certainly seen an area where more people are sitting on the fence and not sure, but I just think that's the environment we're sat in. The government haven't fully defined the agreement, the new agreement that they have with Europe. We're seeing a lot of stuff around immigration and refugees, and clearly that is making people have second thoughts about the EU. So yes, it's a challenging area, but overall the majority of our members still want to stay in. We would like to see the vote as soon as possible. The biggest issue that it's caused in the sector is that uncertainty. People are having to make their business investment decisions based on hedging their bets, based on the uncertainty, and that's not good for seeing investment here in the UK, because they're spreading their investment across the UK and the EU. So the sooner the better. We've seen the press talk about the middle of this year. We would definitely welcome that. We run an apprentice centre here in the Midlands. We've made that centre a national centre, so companies can send their apprentices on a residential basis to train and do a BTEC in engineering. And that centre is there not just to train apprentices, but to upskill employees to improve the skill base within your business. We need to do more of it. Businesses need to do more. The trend is there. The number of apprentices we train has more than doubled over the last 2 years, and all of those apprentices are already employed by companies. So they're already on a career path to a BTEC in engineering and a positive future career in engineering, without, of course, university debts, because they don't have those. So it's a positive story. I see that replicated around the country. It's happening. The government's introducing the apprentice levy, which is frankly another tax, but it's a tax that you can claw back if you do training in apprentices. So we're working with the government to make sure that companies can claw that tax back, and it can be used to upskill and add apprentices to their workforce. In the next 20 years, manufacturing will continue to change. It will become a different world. It'll be high value-added manufacturing. We see a much more connected world. So the products that we create, and people talk about intelligent vehicles, driverless vehicles, that's going to need sensors, connectivity to the outside world. So the sort of engineering of tomorrow is very much those high-tech industries. Yes, there is still going to be people that need to forge, weld, machine, but it's going to be to an end product that's much higher up the innovation stream, and that's positive for the UK because we have a very good higher education infrastructure, university infrastructure, innovative infrastructure that is quite strongly supported by the government through things like the Catapult Centres. So a really exciting place to be.